So now we're going to have our panel discussion. So our panelists, I want to welcome again Sophia and Gabriel to come and join us. And to join them, we have the founder of Fresh Press Factory, Ms. Kenisha Sylvester. So you all give her a round of applause. And as well, a young lady that I admire myself, who owns a pizzeria called Shimalicious Pizza. Her name is Shimon Anthony. So make some noise for Shimon. All right, so you all can have seats on the panel. And we are going to have our panel discussion, and we'll have some questions and answers from the audience as well as we discuss. Let me see, what is our topic here this morning?
We're asking them about their business.
All right, so what we're going to do is have a discussion on your businesses and your business ideas. So I'm handing it over to the panel, and I'll be here in the audience with you.
Hi, everyone, again. I hope this thing is working.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with us again. Thank you for coming in. This is a great opportunity where we would like to learn a little bit more about your business. So we decided the way we were going to handle it would be, we would first start with your business idea, and we will proceed from there. Go ahead.
So, Kenisha, since you're closest to me, we can start with you. Tell us what's your business, and then how you came up with that idea for that business. Tell us the genesis of your story.
Okay, great. So good afternoon, everyone. I am Kenisha Sylvester, the founder of the Fresh Press Factory, which is a cafe in San Fernando, and we focus on giving you a healthier lifestyle, and our slogan is better food for a better mood, because when you eat better, trust and believe, you feel better. And how I came up with this concept, it's a real crazy journey. I think when you're an entrepreneur, you have to have some level of crazy in you, because the journey is not an easy one. So initially, I left my corporate job to pursue entrepreneurship full-time. I decided this is what I want. When you have a purpose in life, no matter what you do, it's going to sit on your subconscious, and that it did. So I decided I would leave. 1 month post-leaving, COVID hit.
Oh,
I'm like, Kenisha, what are you even going to do right now?
Right.
Because I was initially doing a business called Haven Spaces, which is an interior decorating company. Fresh Press was always going to happen, but just not at that time.
Okay.
But with COVID, Fresh Press would make sense because we focus on a healthier lifestyle, and at that period, we are encouraged to eat better to make sure we survive, right?
Right.
So within 1 week, I was like, okay, people are accustomed to see me making these smoothies anyway. I do that on my starters all the time. So it's nothing new to them if I introduce it now. And I need to survive as well because I just quit my full-time job.
Right.
And within 1 week, we started it. And then it just graduated, and I'm part of NEDCO's Business Accelerator program. So big up NEDCO one time. I'm part of their program, and part of the mandate was for me to open a cafe by the end of the year, which was last year.
Okay.
So I'm like, how are we going to do that? But Fresh Press Factory Cafe is now 7 months old, and that is what we do. We just focus on giving you the stuff that are trending in a cafe, but with a healthy twist to it. So you can come and have a good time at the Fresh Press Factory.
Congratulations. Let's give it up.
And Shimon? So guys, I visited her establishment. I didn't meet the owner at the time, but I visited her establishment, and I freely partook of the lovely pizza. We did it as a family event, and so my entire family went down in our car. It was during that COVID time where you were allowed to leave, but you weren't allowed to leave.
Right.
And so you couldn't go much places, so it was a thing to do. So going to your establishment was
Okay, nice.
the end game. So I would like to learn a little bit about how did your Shimalicious business started? What brought this idea? And I especially want to know what made you think about pairing saltfish with pizza.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, hello everyone. I am Shimon Anthony, and I grew up in the village of Labre, the home of the Pitch Lake. So I'm from deep south, even souther than south, as most people will call San Fernando South, right? And Shimalisha started when I'm kind of like, should I say like Jerome? I did my degree in information systems and management. So I left St. Joseph's Convent in San Fernando, which both of us attended, by the way. And I didn't do A's, which was typical of a convent girl. So I didn't do A's. And I skipped and I went to SBCS and did my degree in information systems and management. Graduated, and whilst I was job hunting, my aunt, who is into food or was into food, she suggested, well, while you're waiting, make a little money, right? Sell something, right? Because that's what she knows. So I did that. Well, I asked her what I should make. And she was casually saying, well, make a pizza now, try a pizza. Now, I did that, crazy, right? I'm not a food person. I'm not a foodie. Just like how Rome was saying, he's not into food. He can't even boil an egg or whatever he was saying. I could boil an egg, right? But so I just made the pizza. I made the pizza, and what was a plus for me, she was going to sell it for me. So I just need to make it because she was out there every day selling anyway. So that was easy for me, and she bringing back the money. Who don't want that, right? So I started making the pizza, and it was selling. Probably thanks to my aunt, because she had a market already, right? But it kept selling, and it was selling so much that I decided to start selling pizza on my own at home, in front of my parents' home, where I lived at the time. So I was selling through my aunt, and then I was selling on my own. And even after I got through with a job, I still continue selling because people wanted the pizza. So I was like, okay, this could be a thing. And I decided to make it a business, and we developed the name Shimalicious, which obviously is inspired by my name, Shimon, and Delicious, but we define it as Beyond Delicious Pizza. So I registered the business like 2 years into that continuation of selling pizza, right? And we gave it a name, and it just became a brand that I tried to maintain over the years. So that's since 2011. So I've been out here since 2011, pushing Shimalicious. And I always mention my aunt Joan, who actually today is 4 years since her passing. So I always try to lift her up because she is an instrumental part of the story. She could have said, make a pone. She could have said, make anything. And she said, make pizza. And I decided to do it. And, you know, I continued, and Shimalicious. A few years down, we decided to do the saltfish pizza. It was not anything planned. I was making pizza in my parents' home. I was still making it home, selling it in front. Started on a table with some trays, slices, and people from the area passing, buying. And then eventually I got a little display warmer. Then I got a tent right in front of my parents' home. And eventually I got a pizza cart. And it's at the pizza cart stages where I decided to do the saltfish pizza, or stumble upon it.
Okay.
I was still making the pizza home by my mom, and she had some saltfish there. Thanks for the goods, mommy. And put it together, and it was like this thing lashing, right? But even crazier, I decided to try and sell it now. So I had it on Fridays at first. And it was slow. It was, you know, like just as most people responded, what? Like yourself?
Like myself?
Like saltfish on pizza, you had to be mad, right? But I maintain, I continue every Friday, and it eventually got discovered by some foodies who are now really popular, Randalina Reviews. They were probably in their grassroots around that time.
Yes.
And they made a video, slap on Sparrow, all saltfish sweet on the video. And that video took off. And it went viral, and everyone was flocking. Soon after the video went viral, people wanted to try it. So then from that is when I started making it every day, and it became a thing, and we became the home of the saltfish pizza. Up to this day, people are still like, what are you doing? But it has become a thing. It has become what Shimalicious Pizza is known for. So that's in a nutshell.
Thank you so much, Shimon. And I found out with Randalina's reviews as well. It's true. All right. So, who are your customers?
Well, it started with persons in my vicinity because I lived in a scheme area, so it's a residential area. So it started with persons who coming in from school, coming in from work, but now my target market, I would say, will be families with children.
Okay.
So like you said, you came down with your family, it's like a road trip,
Yes.
you know, and even people who in the area. And we do have delivery service, so you order for your family. When you don't want to cook, you get something delicious and filling, and it's coming to you, or it's a easy drive if you're from the area.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Kenisha,
Yes.
I want to know, how did you find out what your customers want? In other words, why do they buy your products?
Oh, this is so interesting. So initially, when you're going to enter into a business, they tell you to do market research, right?
Okay.
So in my mind, I do my qualitative and quantitative research. So I spoke to people, yes, then I did the whole based on research, and I thought that they wanted in terms of a quick service cafe. It was only until I jumped into opening the cafe, that's when I realized they want more of a sit-down vibe. They want more of the interaction. They want more of a home family setting. So that's where I saw the disparity of actual market research and just taking the jump, going beyond fear, and actually knowing and experiencing what they want directly.
So are you saying you spent a little bit of money, or I don't know how much money, was it a lot of money, to initially set out in the direction you thought they wanted?
Correct.
And then what did you do? You scale back, or you shifted focus?
Shift focus.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
So that speaks to listening to your customer,
Yes.
proving your idea, and to you, is it that you paid attention to sales in terms of, okay, they are paying for this, therefore this is what they want? Is that something that you had to do, or you did something different? Tell me.
Okay, so they came in and then they said, do you all have dining? And initially it was just come in, you pick up, you leave. And that's when I realized this is what they want. So I was like, the business is actually teaching me what it needs to be. Awesome. So I opened myself to listen to that aspect, to listen to the customers. And it's when we started buying cutlery, that's when we started to see a upscale in terms of sales, people relating to us. We started to see the posts coming in, they enjoy the experience, because that is what we try to do. And I think given the technological world that we live in, people tend to move away from the direct interaction. So then we yearn that sense of love and belonging, and that's what we try to do at the Fresh Press Factory.
Right.
So it's a nice little happy little family.
So you look forward to that customer critique?
Yes.
You don't feel broken down and
No.
disheartened?
No, you let me know
receive
what
it.
you want, and we would tailor based on that.
That is service.
Once
I like
we
that.
still maintain the ethos of being healthy for you.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Kenisha.
Thank you so much. As you are getting bigger, so you move from one customer, as you said, you move from the table to the tent to brick and mortar in front of your mom's house. But as you are getting bigger, what challenges did you encounter? And what systems or solutions you put in place to deal with those challenges?
Sure. Okay. Well, I would say definitely getting bigger in terms of workforce or operations. So I started by myself, doing everything. I wasn't working at first, and then I started working, so it was only in the evening. And people getting familiar with the product, so they want it. And eventually you can't do it alone. You can't do it for yourself. I think it's definitely mentioned that you need a team. Right? You need people. You can't do it alone. You're not an island. So I started with young ladies from my church. I told them, well, all I know, I'm making pizza, right? I really can't do it for myself, so are you all willing to help me? Obviously, I paid them, right? And that's how I started with a team. So I grew the team. I still maintain a team, and I think that helps to step away and be able to strategize and make more bigger decisions. So you're not always working in your business, but you're working on your business, which is a big difference. That I and O swap is a big difference. And I think growing, you realize as a business owner, right, that in order for you to grow, you need to do that. You need to move from in the business right through, even though people love to come and see you. You need to be able to step away to help the business expand. And that is something that I try really hard to do. It's not easy because you have to train persons and you want them to be you, right, to every customer. And that's not easy. So creating a system helps with growth to transfer information, transfer what you want the customer to experience, because customer experience is one of our, one of the things we strive really hard to achieve. Feedback from our customers, make sure our customers are satisfied. So you not being on the ground, you have to have a system in place to make sure that is executed when you're not there, and you could also monitor it and rework based on the feedback that comes in. So I think that's one major challenge to make that system effective when you're growing.
Thank you so much, Shimon. And I would like to take Kanisha's challenges and solutions as well.
So I think one of the major challenges that I face, that I think most micro businesses face, finance. Where are we getting the money to do this? Prior to opening the cafe, I will be very honest. I started at home as well. I had, at that point, because I had to pay all my loans still, even though I just jumped out of my job, I had to pay everything that I needed to pay. I had $2,000, and I want to know, how am I opening, how am I multiplying this, like the fish and the love, and how am I doing this? And that is where I was like, okay, once there's a will, there's a way, right? And the first thing that I did, I had a business shower. And I know that is not a concept that we know of so much in Trinidad and Tobago, but it is something that actually exists. So that's where people come to you. I invited my friends and family, people that I know really wish me well. And that is where I started. They came with their well wishes, and it was something I didn't even know that I needed to. Because beyond the financial support, the emotional support that I received really propelled me. That's one thing. Then I started to look for opportunities. So I was like, okay, there's this pitch competition, there's this opportunity, so we're going to get that funding from there. So then I gathered that. Pitch here, apply to this, and I will tell you, Moda Life has something, look into it. Periri has something, look into it. Flow Business has competitions coming around, look into it. Once you start looking for these things, trust and believe, you will see it. Then, NEDCO gave me a loan. Big up NEDCO one time again. And it was mainly through those avenues. That is how I multiplied the $2,000. But I was wondering, how am I multiplying that to actually opening the cafe in December of last year? So finance, but look for it and work hard, and it will come.
That was so inspirational.
Excellent.
But I won't let you go until you tell us a little bit about this business shower.
Yes.
Because I have a sense of what it would be like. But I really would like you to tell us how did you go about inviting persons to this business shower? And they don't think, oh, it's another multi-level marketing session that you're calling me to.
Well, the good thing is I invited people who are close to me still. So it still was a family and friend-based something. And well, I started it off the message, we're having a baby. Well, I'm married, so everybody waiting for this baby, actually. So I started the message off with, we're having a baby. So everybody's already interested in to know what this message from Kanisha is saying.
Pay attention, ladies and
gentlemen. The message then went on, we're having a baby. It's not the kind of baby you think. It's a business baby. And then I explained to them what it is, where the venue will be. We are accepting financial blessings, And they came, just like how in a baby shower, you will have your games. We had business games where they had to guess, what are early products, what day did we start. We just tailored like baby shower games to that. And it had a part 2 where they would just be able to pray for the business. It was just a really good evening that I said that I didn't even know that I needed. But I was really happy that I had it. And I do say that people should have it. It should be a thing.
That is a blessing to us. Thank you.
Now, I want to ask this question. Were you nervous in your asking compared to the result, how well it turned out? Tell us about that emotional journey.
In terms of asking, no, I was not nervous. Maybe because, as I said, it was family and friends, and people who I know wish me well, so I wasn't nervous in the asking. The nervous part, I guess, would just be in deciding that I was actually going to open this brick and mortar when I was like, could I reel back on going and sign this lease? Because at that point, fear started to kick in. So that point, I was nervous. But in terms of actually having a business shower, no.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And so, in terms of the future, where do you see yourself in 3, 5, 10 years from now? Where is your business going to look like? Okay, so let's start with the now. So we're trying, as we have our first location, we're really just trying to solidify it in San Fernando, because down there are plenty tempo. I just need to stick that in San Fernando, and really understand our market there, and really put systems in place that can be replicated. So I'm not right now looking in terms of a next location and doing this, doing that. I'm really trying to understand what our model is going to be like so that it can be replicated when we decide to venture out. But the aim for it is to be a regional brand. Reason being that throughout the Caribbean, we face similar issues in terms of non-communicable diseases, which is what we're trying to really hit home with. Right. So we want it to be a regional brand. So 3 to 10 years, the Fresh Press Factory Cafe will be known regionally as a great brand for health and wellness. Okay. Excellent.
Shimon, what are your future plans for Shimalicious?
Definitely to expand in, I would say, in franchise model. So hopefully one of you all maybe in the future maybe purchasing a Shimalicious store brand. So franchising is definitely something I'm hoping to accomplish. And I know I need to, as Kenisha was saying, have this system developed so you can copy and paste in your further branches or future branches. You have to get it right. Even with the demonstration you all did, with the one ball, you focus, you get your system flowing, so you could ultimately go on to something else. So definitely having the solidifying, as you say, what we have right now, even though sometimes I must say, because I have been out here in these streets so long, I feel like I should have done it already, being really honest. But it is still my intention to expand in the franchise model.
The franchise model.
Yes.
That's great. If you have to tell all these budding entrepreneurs something, bearing in mind also, a lot of them do deal with the fear of, I am not good enough to do this venture. What would you leave with them?
I would say, from personal experience, find your people. So I also come from a very spiritual-based home, and I'm very close to my family. We are really tight-knit. Not everyone has that privilege, so that's something I definitely don't take for granted, but you can make that connection with persons who are not your flesh and blood. So really choose your circle, your network wisely, and never, it's very cliche, just can't give up. Entrepreneurs just keep rolling. We never stop. You might pause, right? You might pause, but never stop. If you come across a hurdle or a bump, if it's a hurdle, you could go over, you could go around, you could dig under, you could break it down and go through. Just never really stop. Take a breath, take a pause, and go again. One major hurdle for me, I lost my dad in 2021. Another patron saint of Shimalicious, so I always wear them for these type of events. And everybody wanted to know how we're going to survive because we're real close, the family, right? But Shimalisha survived. We are 2 years post now, and, you know, we're still functioning and growing in minor ways without one of the pillars of the family, of the group, you know, because that's how I started with my family, in front of their home, and essentially we're still there, right? So never, ever stop. You always could find a way. It always have a solution to your problem or your issue, and you don't have to do it alone. Find your team, your people, choose them wisely, and you could make it out here. That's what I would leave you all with. And I'll also stick in that I also got a loan from NEDCO.
Thank you so much. Kanisha?
Yes, so I would say that your purpose has already been assigned to you in your life. And due to that, you are already wired, you're already designed to achieve that purpose. So it's a matter of moving past fear and more into action. So sometimes we just really need to take the jump and, as they say, build a parachute, open your parachute on your way down. But you will figure it out because you're already designed to do this and fulfill this purpose.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
All right, cool. They open the mic. So we have some questions as well from our online viewers. So I'm just going to pitch some of those in between, right? So I will just interject as we go along, as we get some. And remember also, we have Tobago online with us as well.
Right.
So as we go along, I know that you all have your questions as well.
No, actually, you're right in time.
In time?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll take this one first from online. This one is for Fresh Press. How to manage social media and daily running of Fresh Press?
It is hard because I am so instrumental. I haven't moved past the point of being instrumental in the everyday part. I mean, yes, the cafe is open right now while I'm here. Thank you, Fresh Press team. You all know I love you all. But it hasn't moved past the point of me being fully, I would say, self-employed yet. So I am still self-employed, and I'm trying to move from being self-employed to an entrepreneur. I still have to be I'm very pivotal in all the operations. So it is hard, and it's something that I want to do in terms of being a micro business. I don't have the financial capacity yet to hire professionals in everything. So a lot of it still falls on me. So it's a matter of trying to find the time, still trying to find the time to do the social media aspects, but also understanding and giving leverage to the other team members when they tell me, okay, Kanisha, we're going to do this TikTok and this dance. And I just there, and I TikToking and dancing. And I just trying to understand when people say, you know, this is a good idea. And a good thing is I love to be creative. I think that's one of the best things about myself. I love to be creative. So coming up with concepts is the easy part. So it's just to put the time to execute it. So that's what I am working on. But social media, balancing social media and running a business is extremely hard. And I pray to be better at it, and I pray for whoever else to be good at it as well.
Okay, great. I know that we took questions from Tobago, then online, and Trinidad. You all didn't get to ask Stephanie that many questions. So let me bring it back to our floor right in Trinidad. So any questions we have from our floor? I'm seeing a couple hands up, so we'll pass the microphone to them.
Hi, good day.
Good day.
So what we're asking is that when you all stand to ask the question, just tell us your name.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm Rachel Bryan, owner of Marco Home Gardens. I specialize in producing living soil and home garden consultancy.
All right, before you continue, you see what he just did there? I love that. Anytime you get a microphone and you're in front of a room of people, sell your business. Yeah, well done. Well done.
Well done.
I have two questions, right? First one for the pizza boss. I'd like to ask that you
Pizza
said
boss,
that
I
you
like that.
from selling trees and you switch your clientele from like people coming home from work and students to families with children. I'd like to know more about what encouraged you to make that switch.
Well, you just pay attention to what is moving, what the response, you're gathering feedback. So it's not just transactional, you're really trying to build relationships with your customers. And if you really listen, you will learn how to really adapt or adjust what you put out there. So really just paying attention, gathering feedback, and adjusting to suit, because that's how entrepreneurs function. You know, we adapt most times quickly, right? But you need to pay attention. Just pay attention to what you are dealing with, your customers, your walk-ins, if you listen from all the avenues. And if you pay attention, feedback is what helps you to, adjust accordingly.
Thank you. One last question for the press boss. You said that, well, not you said, sorry. I understand that your business is now successful since initializing, right? I want to know what encourages you to keep pushing to grow your business.
Okay, so what encourages me? First of all, I never want to be in a position of wondering what would have happened, when I'm older, what could have happened if I started that business? So that pushes me already to want to do this. And then the support that I get, because my team, again, Fresh Westing, they are an amazing group of women. And then there's my parents. Even though I am this age, they are so instrumental. Like, they went to open up the cafe because I needed to be here. And then my husband, he's very instrumental. And then I have some good family and friends. So I have a group of people who, on my down days, uplift me. So my own answer to them is to keep pushing as well. And then understanding that I'm a very spiritual person. And then I prayed about it, and I was like, okay, God, if this is my mission, just ensure that I keep pushing, ensure that you keep showing up for me, that I know that you are there and that I could keep going. So all of those factors just really help me to keep pushing. And if I'm down, I'll find somebody to talk to. You know, find people to talk to who you trust, obviously. But find people. You can't do it alone. You really can't. It's a lot. You're welcome.
All right, we will take another one from Trinidad before we head to Tobago.
Y'all can hear me, right? Good evening, everyone. My name is Shakira McKenzie. I'm a home business owner of KK's Homemade Cakery. My question is for both business owners. As a young entrepreneur like myself, right? What knowledge do you have for those who don't have the support or emotional support like you're continuously talking about? What advice do you have to give us on that?
You want to go first, or you want me?
Take it away, Kitty.
Okay, so something that I started to do initially, I didn't have people around me in entrepreneurial landscape. So I started to add persons on social media who were doing things that I wanted to do, who were brave enough. So I started to associate myself online with them so that I could be encouraged. And then eventually, if you have them on social media, they like your stuff, you like their stuff, interaction happens. And then you start to build your own network, and your own network of people who have been there, done that, understand how you feel. So they could give you that emotional support. So look for who clicks with you in terms of you will actually be like, that's something that I like. I like that business person because of that aspect. You'll add them.
Let me jump in here with that one too. So when I was starting my business, I didn't come from a family of people who were into business. So my family were very nervous about business, and they weren't really that supportive in the initial phases of me opening any sort of business because they didn't really believe in it because they didn't have the experience in it. So sometimes you might find you in a situation where you are the loner in your family or amongst your friends and you want to do something. Even when I was going to be a musician, my father said, why are you going to do music? And your mother is not into music, your father is not into music, and nobody is into music. Where you going? But sometimes you have to be the first of your family or of your friends to blaze your own trail, because the person who was into music, who father and mother was into music, there was somebody up the line who was not into music or into business, and it takes one brave person to start it. So if you want to do it and you don't have that emotional support or that family support or friend support, find your tribe. So what I did too was there was a program, and it still happens now. All of y'all can look for it on Facebook or on Instagram. It's called the Cash Flow Club. It's in St. Augustine. And there's a guy from a book that I read. I started to read a lot of start your own business books because that was my tribe. I didn't have nobody around me to talk about it, but I found my tribe in my books first. So there's a book I always recommend to all entrepreneurs. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. one of the best books to start your entrepreneurial journey. So I recommend it to everybody. If you buy the book, I ain't want to say go online and crack the book, but do what you have to do. Find the book, read the book. It's very easy to read. So from that book, there was a guy, Roger Moore, who developed a cash flow club, teaching the financial literacy that the book has. And what it did is it started to bring a lot of young entrepreneurs together to play the cash flow game. And that is how I found people to talk about business, and I made friends who were same business minded. Seminars like these that NEDCO putting on. Every time you see somebody, as she mentioned, Kariri or Moda Live, or anytime you see entrepreneurship programs, seminars, grants, go to them. And that's where you will start to find your tribe. Look, your tribe here.
Yeah.
All of us here are your tribe, and we are the ones who on the lunch break are going to talk about our businesses, and you would find that, okay, all of us have something in common, and you will see, you would start to get that emotional support from these people right here, and you will keep building it.
Okay. One more thing towards everybody here, am I right? Okay.
Yes.
One more thing towards the Shimalicious. Thank you so much for showing. Right. Thank you so much for showing and telling us, especially me as a young business owner, the knowledge and your struggles that you went through. It really and truly opened my eyes to push my business forward, because I had my doubts, and if I should do it and if I shouldn't do it. And now that you enlightened me on this, I am going to push it forward.
So we're gonna kick it over to Tobago. Tobago!
Hi.
You don't get to sit down?
Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear, Tobago.
Okay.
Right, wonderful. I too want to express gratitude for the information that have been shared. So far, coming from what the two young ladies have given, especially fresh,
Don't worry, Gil, that happened.
fresh, and shimalicious. That information that you have expressed is definitely something to piggyback from. My question is, as part owner of an educational system, educational gateway to women empowerment, I would like to know how have your education that you, I heard two of you young ladies, you got your training from tertiary institution, and how have your education background helped with your business? Your education background sounds completely different to the business venture that you went on. So for us, most of us, when we go or when we grow up, we are guided to learn what they asking us to learn from the secondary school or college or so forth. So how have your tertiary background, your academia, helped you in your business career?
Well, I'll start. Thanks for the question. Well, I did my degree in information systems and management. It's not so much of an IT degree. Persons tend to think that I could fix computers, right? But it's a heavily based business management course or program. So definitely those aspects of the business side of the degree have played into my business, and believe it or not, my top performing course was marketing. Out of all the courses throughout the 4 years, the course that I performed the best in was marketing. And that's a part of my business that I feel comes easiest to me, right? So that also helps me, because I also manage Shimalicious social media. And it's just something, it helped me to realize that clearly this is something that I prefer, right? And I tend to still keep that as part of the thing that I want to keep doing, even though I try to step away and be working on the business. That part of my background helped me to serve my business, Shimalicious, well, and even additionally work experience. So even after I started working, I still continued selling my pizza out of worked in the corporate communications areas, community relations areas. So, dealing with persons, communicating with persons, also helped to inform how I would serve through Shimalicious. And even I'm working also in human resources, which also helped me to, manage the team, right? So I think, I can't remember who mentioned it earlier, but even pursuing a career or having a job for a period of time, it would help, right? So your educational background, even though I'm selling pizza, which is nothing close to what I would have studied, it still helps my business. And even the naysayers, when I was moving from one job to the next, because I was trying to focus on Shimalicious at a point in time. And they were, I disregarded, or I turned down one particular contract because I wanted to focus on Shimalicious. And they were like, we're gonna do sell pizza? You're turning down this, right? And I did. And even the business would have been buying pizza, the corporate would have been buying the pizza. And it's like, yeah, stop to sell pizza. But I got what I needed to get from the work, from the experience. And, that's something that can't be taken away from you. You have it forever. So don't, even though you study one thing, don't knock it. It's going to help you at some point in your personal business life.
Correct. And well, for me, initially, what I wanted to do, I wanted to be a guidance counselor or a sociology lecturer. So I did my degree in sociology and psychology, and then I went on to the master's level to do sociology, because you would need your master's to be the lecturer, right? And when I decided to do this switch, then this is where there's nothing like wasted knowledge. That is why we are so focused on customer service, because I'm still connected to people, because I still want to serve people, still want to make people feel good. So it's just a different trajectory, a different road that we're taking to fulfill that same wants that I wanted to do before. But your academic background could still fuel whatever you're doing in life. So yeah, that's my piece.
Yeah.
I would also like to add to that point that you made. You see, it's up to you to really put your hands to the wheel, no matter what you're doing. It's not strange that young people, they may be doing something now, or they may be studying something, and the job or the entrepreneurial endeavor that they do may be completely different. That's okay. The main thing is to put all of your effort, time, and energy to do the best that you can where you are. So if you're studying, perform the best. That attitude and that discipline and that value that you gain from that endeavor, you will always be able to translate something into your entrepreneurial career. So that's my takeaway.
Okay. All right.
Right, and we have 2 more questions over here in Tobago.
Yep.
She's so tiny.
Entrepreneurship student. I was just curious as to the 2 of you being from South Trinidad, especially for the owner of Shimalicious Pizza, being from further down in South, how did you manage to establish yourselves? Because from my perspective, I think most people will prioritize marketing or advertising their business or opening a business in North Trinidad. So how did you manage that?
Okay, thanks for your question. Well, with the times that we're living in, with all the technology that we have available to us, it really doesn't matter where you are. However, I am selling a product, right, that you would prefer to get fresh out of the oven, hot, right? But social media exposure, getting out there. So, like I said in my story, the vloggers, they did one video that went viral. You just never know when they might strike gold, right? That was, I wouldn't say luck. Obviously, it's part of my story that I didn't know that would have come, right? But if you're intentional with what you put out there, people will want to come to you. And probably even because of the pandemic as well, people more about experiencing, they appreciate those experiences together. So our road trip sounding a little more encouraging now, because just a couple of years ago, we could not go anywhere. We had to be back home by a certain time. So once you put your brand or your business out there in a way that is encouraging to other persons, they will come to you. And I always get that because I want it to be, at least even though I'm in Labre, which is village, right? Behind God back, as some people might refer to it as. You know, I wanted to be on the main road in Labre, right? And I was fighting real hard to get on the main road. And all how, clearly the Lord didn't want me to be on the main road. It shut down. I tried about 3 or 4 times, and it just was not happening. And I was out the road close to the junction. I still didn't hit it, right? And I take it still. I run it a couple of times, and believe it or not, that's when the saltfish pizza take off. I just get a little taster close to the junction, and then I had to come right back home. And that's where we are. And people will come from all over. It doesn't matter where you are. Once you portray your business, your product, your service in a particular way, people will want to come and experience that. And it's also an experience. So we're not just selling pizza, we're selling that family togetherness. Having a meal together is a big thing. It doesn't matter, it's a thing, right? So once you create that value, or you create that, or inspire that value or that desire in your customers, they're gonna come to you wherever you are. So that's my take on it.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Tobago, I know we have one more from Tobago.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Osea Solos. I'm also an entrepreneur, sixth form student. My main question was to both businesses, asking how exactly did you market your businesses to get them out there? So what ways in marketing did you use to spread your business across to get it more known?
Okay. So main thing would be social media, because it's the easiest way for me to be here and still talk to you even though you're there. So we leverage the Facebook platform, the Instagram platform, trying to navigate the TikTok platform, because the good thing with the different platforms, they are different age groups. So you're getting more mature folks on Facebook, you'll get the millennials on Instagram, and then you'll get the younger ones on TikTok. So we really leverage social media, and beyond that, before opening the cafe, what we started to do is pop-up shops. So we would go to the popular C3 in San Fernando, we'll go to the popular Gulf City. These are malls that have frequent customers all the time, and that is where they would be introduced to our product. So that is the next thing that you can do as well, pop-up shops, until you have your flagship, but still do the pop-up shops, because I still plan to do different things to keep reintroducing the brand to people, reaching new people as well.
Agreed. Definitely social media and the same platforms. Facebook, I would have opened my Facebook page as soon as I registered my business. So Shimalicious page is very old. And Instagram as well, probably when they were now coming out. But yeah, just being consistent on social media, because it's essentially free. Showing up, putting things out there. Video is a big thing now, so not just static. Just be on have your finger on the pulse of what is going on. We know that TikTok, if you have customers on TikTok, get out there. TikTok might be a quicker turnover in terms of audience, right? It might go viral quicker on TikTok if that's what you're trying to accomplish. Just learn and understand what each platform could give to you, and you tailor your content to suit there. And sometimes one piece of content could be varied on each platform, right? So that's what I tend to do. You try to be consistent. Consistency is key. When people know that they can expect you there at a certain time, or every week they're going to see something new, that they keep coming back. And when you keep programming, they keep seeing you, it will become easier for them to actually buy from you. Don't show up once and then next 2 months, because they forget about you. The person who's there every week or every other day, they will remember and potentially buy from them faster than they buy from you. So just show up consistently, and social media is the cheapest once you're doing it yourself.
All right. All right.
So we are really intrigued. Just want to squeeze in one more quick
Yeah, go ahead, Tobago.
Yes, I did. Ms. Shimalicious.
Hi.
I love to bake, but I've never thought of
Really?
And now I'm vegetarian and I'm like, oh, wait, I can just taste it. Vegetarian after. You know? I want to ask one question. How did you know about NEDCO? Not one, sorry. This is the first one. How did you know of NEDCO? I never thought that NEDCO gave loans. How did you know of NEDCO?
Yeah. It was a long time ago, but how did I come to learn about NEDCO? I probably was searching. Yeah, no. Because what the finances allowed me to buy was a pizza oven and a commercial mixer, which I still use to this day, right? So I think I would have sorted it out, because you're looking to see how you can afford this, as Kanisha was speaking earlier. How can I get this? Because, demand increasing and you want to deliver. So I think I would have sorted out. And, I met up with the agents and I qualified, thankfully. So I would say, I sorted out NEDCO, particularly.
Now, you took a loan.
Yeah.
When you took that loan, did they guide you through the bookkeeping? I have no idea how or anything. Did they guide you through, or did they just give you loan and leave it free?
I mean, as a responsible entrepreneur business person, you don't have to wait for NEDCO to guide you, but I'm sure they have those services, right? So you don't have to know anything for bookkeeping per se, just keep all your bills, right? That's a start. Keep all your bills. And, I believe NEDCO, y'all can help me here, but I believe NEDCO does have those services available now, right? But I believe I would have done it essentially on my own, just trying to be vigilant. And that's just the type of person I am, right? You want to make sure that you can pay and get this out of the way, right? And what you purchase is really will give you a return on the investment or the loan. So it is to help you make sales easier, probably more efficiently, so you could be able to pay off what you pay and have some money for yourself as well. So you don't have to be no accountant. Just, YouTube University, that's how you have to start, and keep all your bills. Know what is going out and know what is coming in. Because I know a lot of times a common thing that I realize people do is like, okay, well, I make $500 today, but you ain't check that you spend $450, right? So you just have to remember that, or it's simple maths. Money going out and money coming in. Just record both of them, and as you grow, you will get the more official, fancy stuff going, right? So that's my advice to you.
Next question. Mami, you have to pay a loan, and sometimes you're going to meet that loan amount. How did NEDCO deal with you?
I'm very, very understanding, I would say. Honestly, it has been a while. But I think based on even qualifying for the loan, they were very lenient is the word. I'm not sure if that's the word, but they work with what you have to help you to get to the qualification stage. So they put some faith in you and your business, right? So you could qualify in the first place, and ultimately, if you hit a rock or you hit a wall, they try to nurture and mentor you, right? But obviously, it has to be a two-way street. You have to communicate and let them know, well, this is the situation, really trying, right? But this month or these next 2 months, whatever. So communication, I think, is key. Don't just try to hide, just own up to what is the reality. And I believe they work with you to see it come to the end or to achieve the, closing off and be repayment.
All right, so thank you very much, Tobago, for all of the... All right, so we have to break. We have to take a break, right, Tobago, because we have to break for lunch. And when we come back this afternoon, don't worry, we have questions that you could pose directly to NEDCO, and we would have a NEDCO rep that could answer those questions for you. Okay. All right? So right now we want to present. So y'all give it up for everyone who asked a question.
Thank you so much.
I know that we had some people online who had some questions as well too. Unfortunately, we couldn't feature some of their questions, but don't worry, our online viewers, when we come back from lunch, we have another panel discussion and you can feed some of those questions to the panel. We're going to start with the online questions first, just for that, in the second panel. And we're going to say thanks. Yes, we'll learn how to have a business shower from. So thank you.